Good morning, friends. It's Wonderful Wednesday. Today I'm going to be working on some beautiful squares. Look at those. Isn't that pretty? This is like a mango color. I'm really digging it. So I'm working on this for another wheelchair blanket, which I'm kind of excited about. Let me see if I can raise this up a little bit. Let's see here. Queen, good morning. Good afternoon, I should say. Hannah is here. Good afternoon, Hannah. All our friends from across the pond. Deanna, good morning. Yeah, I'm really digging these squares. Aren't they pretty? Rita, good morning. How are you? So I've been working on this square quite a bit. I've made a number of blankets with this, and I thought, well, I want to do another one. So what happened a couple weeks ago? I went with Mr. Wheeler over to a town by us. It's called Gadsden. And he had to go over to the quad shop. He was picking up a quad that he had purchased. And so I thought, well, I'm going to bring some crocheting with me. So I just kind of went in my yarn room and scooped up some colors that I had. Red Lady, good morning. Jody, how are you, friend? Jody, did you get your edging on your blanket? I have to know. I have to know. How's your ruffle coming? Debbie, good morning. So anyhow, the shopping that I did, I just kind of grabbed some random stuff. So the very center is some leftover peach that I had from working on a blanket. And oh, good, good, you got it. I'm so happy. Kimberly, good morning. Miss Mary, good morning. And we had made some squares this past spring, and so I had this leftover. This is Big Twist Value. Pale peach, pale peach. So the very center, I thought, well, I'll use that. Then I kind of did some shopping and I had this color. This is actually a red heart color. And I was kind of like, that's kind of too orange. So then I went shopping again and y'all don't be hating on me. This is a discontinued yarn, but I had two skeins of it. Crafter's Secret comes from Hobby Lobby. And this is the colorway coral, which they don't offer anymore. And I'm kind of surprised because it really is a pretty color. So I grabbed that out and then I grabbed out some variegated. I had this, I love this yarn. And I thought this is really pretty. It's got peaches and grays and some yellow. But this is the colorway City Beat. So I threw all that together and I outlined it with some white. And what we came up with is this lovely little square here. So for a blanket, I need to make 20 of them. And I have a number of them made, but I thought, well, this will be a fun project today. Let's work on some of these squares. So, as I mentioned, I made some of these. There was a pink blanket that I made originally, which is called the English Rose. And that is the first time I used this particular square that I came up with. Then I did it again and I used it for a like aqua teal blue blanket. And it really turned out nice. But I thought this was kind of cool. I tried white at first, and that was like too stark white. You could see this difference. I think this would have worked, this red heart that I had. It kind of matches more of this lighter color out here, but I really wanted to bring out this darker, uh, like salmon color of the square. So, anyhow, Amy said it looks like fireworks. It kind of does. Hey, Pam, good morning. How are you, friend? Mad Red, how are you? Good morning. Veronica's here. Kim, good morning, friends. So, these are a very easy square to make, and what I'm doing is I'm making them into a blanket. So we start here first in the center, and I start with a magic ring. Now, of course, you could do a chain of 3 or 4 here, but I'm going to use the pale peach color that we had left over from our other blanket. So let's get this party started. What do you all say? I'm going to use an I-9 hook. I-9. So I start with a magic ring. As I mentioned, you could, of course, use chain of 3 or 4 here if you prefer. That would be totally fine as well. I do a little, I hold my yarn like I'm going to be crocheting with it, okay? So I hold it like this. This is how I hold my yarn. I wrap my yarn around and I pull down a loop so that it's crisscrossed and the loop points over to my right. Then I wrap my yarn around twice. I go down into that circle. Now I'm working both over this loop. I'm also going to work over the tail. Very important when you're making a magic ring or even a chain of 3 or 4 to start. Work over that tail. And I just do a double crochet. Okay, so that is how I begin my little center of the square. Now I'm going to work 15 more double crochets into this magic ring. So we're going to end up with a total of 16 double crochets. And once again, friends, very, very important. Make sure you're working over your tail. So you can see I have my loop here, but I also have the tail. I'm bringing this around as I work these double crochets. Just Gen X said, keep me company while I'm walking this morning. Nice, nice. Joan, good morning. How is everybody's wonderful Wednesday? I hope you all are having a fabulous week. I will tell you all, yesterday I was so tired. A lot of you were with me yesterday, and boy was I tired. We had a long week and weekend with Mama Wheeler and Papa Wheeler when they were here. Just on the go and up late visiting, all the things you do on vacation, you know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Two more, 15 and 16. Now I'm going to join to the very beginning here and I'm going to snip off. We're done with the pale peach color. So that's going to be the very center of our square. Anyhow, I was in bed by 7 o'clock again last night. Lucas, it does look like shrimp color, right? It's a really pretty, like pale peach color. Hannah, have a great time at your craft meetup. That sounds exciting. Caroline, good morning. Kelly is here. Kelly, good morning. How are you, friend? Kelly, I had a question for you. I don't know if you know the answer to this. I have 4 blankets for um, the launch pad. Uh, can I send those now or do I have to wait until this fall to send them? Do they take deliveries all the time? I wasn't sure. Let me know. If you don't know, I could probably reach out to them. Mad Red said, came to see my new grandbaby. How exciting. On vacation, currently in North Carolina. Well, I don't know what it's like in North Carolina this morning, but here in Alabama, it is foggy. It is like a sauna out there, you guys. It is. We got rain yesterday. I was surprised. I was sitting at my desk working, and all of a sudden there was thunder and lightning, and boy, was it pouring. But congratulations on your new grandbaby. That is very exciting. Julie, good morning. How are you, friend? I can double check with Korean and message you, but I think they take them all year. Okay, perfect. Well, I have 4 that are ready to go. I just need to photograph the last one that I made, and then I could get that box shipped off to them. It works better than keeping them piled around here. Okay, so we just finished our very center of this square now. So now what I'm going to do, this is pale peach. This is the color Big Twist. This salmon color here is actually coral. It's called coral. And unfortunately, this colorway has been discontinued. I had 2 skeins of it, so I'm kind of using up some scraps this morning. And what we're going to do is we're going to work 2 together treble crochets to make these beautiful little petals. And we're going to work those right in between the stitches. So normally you would work in the top loops here. This one that faces me is the front loop, and this is the back loop away from me. But instead of doing that, we're going to split apart the post. The post is the legs of the stitch that you see coming down, and we're going to work those 2 trebles together right in between those stitches. So again, the colorway that I'm using is Crafter Secret. I thought it looked nice with the city beat in the colorway coral, but as I mentioned, this is discontinued. And look, 2013, I've had this for a while, y'all. So it's probably good to use it up. This is the variegated color that I paired it with. Again, this is I love this yarn, and we'll get to this on the next round in the colorway City Beat. But it has beautiful, like coral colors, some yellow, beautiful grays, kind of some pinks. So that is what is on the third row here. And I just let it kind of flow. So some of them look more yellowish. But when we put them all together, they're going to be really, really pretty. So my first color that I tried with this yarn was some red heart that I had. You can kind of see here as I was testing and playing with colors and trying to figure it out. But I felt like this was too orangish. So that's why I went ahead and changed it. Puff Mama, good morning. How are you, friend? So I've got a number of these done. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 done. I also have some starts. I worked on these while we were at the dealership. So we have some kind of the middles, but now we're going to come back with this beautiful coral color and make these little petals. Okay, so again, I'm using an I-9 hook this morning. Friends, thank you all so much for all of the screen taps. I see the little hearts flying up the screen here. Very cool. Karen, good morning. I'm going to start with a slip knot on my hook. Now, once again, we're not going to work in the top of the stitches. We're actually going to work in between the post. So I kind of pick a spot here kind of next to the tail. That way, as I work along here, I can kind of tuck in that tail as we go. So I'm going to start with a standing treble. So with the slip knot, I hold my tail. I wrap my yarn around twice, so we have 3 loops on our hook. I go down right in between those posts, twist my hand forward, transfer the job of holding that tail to Mr. Thumb, grab up a loop. Now we have 4 loops on our hook. Now we're going to do 2 together trebles. So I'm going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now normally I would yarn over and go through one more time. Instead, I'm just going to hold this. We're going to start another treble. So yarn over twice, again, right back down into that space, grab up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. Once I get to the point where we have 3 loops on our hook, then I'm going to yarn over and pull through all 3. So that kind of squishes those stitches together, making these little petals. Jen, thank you so much for the donut. Jen, I have to tell you, I missed a big thing on the live yesterday. It was a momentous day and I didn't even know it. I was so tired yesterday. But one of the people who popped up on the live yesterday made a comment and said, "Where is my possum?" Did anybody see that comment yesterday? Where is my possum? It was made by James Wilson. And I will tell you all, James Wilson, he has some numbers after his name, is Mr. Wheeler. It was Mr. Wheeler's first time coming to the live. Y'all, I totally missed him being here. I totally missed it. I didn't even see my husband. Jen said I didn't see that. Yeah, so y'all, if you see Mr. Wheeler, I'm supposed to put some chains in between here. We got to rewind. Frogging already. Key and Rocky, thank you so much for the TikToks. He was sneaky, Jen. He was sneaky. All he did was say, "Where is my possum?" with some funny laughing faces. I went back. You guys know I go back through and read all the comments after the live. Well, yesterday I was so tired and work was totally sketch again. Don't get me started. So anyhow, I was reading comments this morning and I said, "Hey, were you on my live yesterday?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, I popped by." Silly. Okay, after we do a pedal, we're going to chain 2. I forgot that critical part. So let's try again. I'm already frogging this morning, friends. Okay, so we're going to start another treble. Again, when you get to the very last part, we're going to hold this. Wrap our yarn around twice. Go right back down in, grab up a loop. yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. Now, when we get to the point where we have 3 loops up on top, then we're going to yarn over, pull this one through all 3, squish those together, chain 2. Yes, he was secret surveillance is exactly what he was, Anvil. So, I don't know how I missed it. I mean, I try to watch all the comments, you all know I do. I try really hard, but I do miss some, and of course, to miss my husband was like, oh, yeah, the chat was busy. There was like 600 comments yesterday, in my defense. Okay, so now we're going to skip to the next space here. I do feel more rested today, Shelley. I was in bed by 7 o'clock, and I didn't wake up until like 6. I was so tired yesterday. I had gone to bed early the night before also, but I do feel I feel a lot better. I still feel tired today, but not quite as bad. Okay, so again, 2 together treble crochets, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, chain 2. Now again, working to the next space. Here you can see my tail. I'm just going to wrap that around as we go, and that will help to save some time with weaving in ends. Okay, so yarn over, right down in, grab up a loop. So now we have 4 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now again, holding here, we're not going to finish that treble crochet. We're going to start another one. Wrap our yarn around twice, right back down in, grab up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. So once we get to 3 loops on our hook, we're going to yarn over and pull through all 3. Chain 2, one locks it in, one moves to the next space. Again, not on top, right down here in the space in between, start our next treble crochet. Hey, Shan, good morning. Shan, I loved that little pattern that you shared, of that mosaic. It is so pretty. So, so pretty. I hope you make that blanket because that is lovely. And I love your yarn choices that you picked out for the new blanket you're going to do. Very, very cool. So, it's always fun to go yarn shopping, isn't it? Okay, chain 2. At the end of this round, we should have a total of 16 of these little petals. So you can see we've got a ways to go here. We're going to keep on trucking. Okay. Pull through all 3 and chain 2. Here's what we're looking like so far. Oh, you've already started it. Awesome. Mrs. Melody, I'm going to make a blanket with these. I'm going to make a wheelchair size blanket. You guys know I'm on a mission this year to make lots of wheelchair blankets for donation, in memory of my father. I sent 7 veterans blankets over with Mama Wheeler to Arizona to the VA center. She'll take them to my brother, and he will take them to the VA center where my dad was. In addition to that, I've made, so that was 7. I made 4 more blankets. Those are going to go to Launchpad up in Nashville, to the rescue shelter there for the LGBTQ plus community. So I have 4 that are ready to go for that organization. And then I've made a total of 24. So 24 blankets in the first 6 months. So I've averaged 4 blankets a month is what I have averaged. So my goal, you guys know, was to do one a month. I have, I think, done a pretty good job to exceed that goal. So the other blankets that I have will go to Sabre Healthcare, here by us. There's one up in, I believe there's one in North Carolina. There's some up in Pennsylvania area. So we'll see. I might send out a couple boxes depending on how they fit and can get packaged. There might be some in Kentucky too, some Sabre Healthcares. I don't know. I have to look at the list. Let's see. Amanda Joe said, "Has anybody completed or worked on the Sardar crochet along?" I'm not working on that, but I know it's beautiful, and I know a lot of people have been working on that. So I am curious as well if anybody has finished that. Really, really pretty. Queen said, "So hard." What is so hard, Queen? Is it this that I'm working on, or the Sardar blanket? Um, Yeah, they have some that are beautiful, mandalas, but they do crochet alongs. I think they do seasonal crochet alongs, the Sirdar does. So they're really pretty blankets. They have lots of fun patterns and the one that I think she's talking about has the is it the one with the citrus squares? So, anyhow, this square that I'm making today, what I'm going to do, there's a couple blankets on my TikTok. The first one I did was the English rose, and it was a pink blanket, kind of pink and tans that I made with Karen squirrel cakes. And that turned out so nice, and I enjoyed it so much that I turned around and I made one with like blues. It's called the Glacier Bay blanket. That one's on my TikTok as well. And it's more like really pretty, like teals and stuff. And so then I thought, well, I think I will make these colors and do another one. So this is what we're working on this morning. I'm working on the petals right now. The next colorway is going to be this variegated. So we're going to change that next. So once I get the last petal done, this is a two together treble crochet. I chain two, and then I'm just going to join to the next space here and secure that. And then let me do a little count. We need to have 16 of these petals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, right on the money. So now I'm going to go ahead and snip off. We're done with the coral color. And next, we're going to start working with the variegated. So let me take a moment and weave in some ends because when you're changing colors like this, I know, be still your heart. April's weaving in ends. It's like unheard of here. Um, I know it's crazy. It's crazy, crazy. I'll tell y'all, I have a new sticker for tomorrow I'm pretty excited about. So y'all are going to have to come back for the subscribers tomorrow to see what the new sticker I made is. I made it over the weekend. And it's only going to be used on Thursdays, but it's a pretty fun sticker. I know Queen says she's got her eyes wide open as uh, Wheeler over here is weaving in my tails. Totally unheard of, right? Danny Lee, good morning. Thanks for joining. Hillary, how are you? Let's see. I got the citrus square kit yesterday and they came out with the Halloween one. Oh, Hillary did sign up for the Halloween one. Nice, nice. They make beautiful blankets, beautiful patterns. Um, the thing is, I don't think I could ever make one of those on the live just because they're so complicated. So I lately have been trying to do stuff where it's something I can work on camera, you know, so paid patterns and stuff like that. I know the Sirdar ones are like crochet alongs, but it would be way too complicated for me to even try to attempt that and talk about all the stitches and stuff. Okay, so there is our very center and round two. I am now certain you are sleep deprived. Weaving in ends on a live. I am sleep deprived, Anvil. But look at I'm being disciplined. That's one less tail to weave in. Oh, and this one's woven in. We can snip this one off too. We're gonna consider this one good. How about that? How about that? They do look nice on the back once you've got them woven in. This is what it looks like when you don't weave it in. But I do have some pretty ones. Look how pretty it looks on the back. Really nice, right? So it looks beautiful both from the front and the back. Elsie said, amazing. I've been listening while working for over a year. It doesn't seem that long. I know, Elsie, it's amazing. Um, y'all, there is a video up on my TikTok right now for a little giveaway we're doing in honor of my 1 year anniversary. My 1 year anniversary was on the 5th of July. That was my 1 year anniversary confirm of going live. So I never thought I would last more than 5 minutes going live. Here we are a year later. Can you believe that? Incredible. Absolutely incredible. I tell you all, It's because of each and every one of you. It really is. Jody, thank you for so much for the heart puffs. Linda, good morning. Let's see. Hillary says, yeah, I don't blame you, but if you do it off camera with your own stash, I'd love to see. I know. I don't know if I have enough discipline right now to tackle one of those blankets. The square is really pretty. Thank you, Jody. I'm loving it. Let's see. I have a hard time making the back look pretty with my ends woven in. So, Mrs. Melody, the trick that I do is when I am starting my colors, I try to position them that the tails will end up in a corner right here. So that gives me more space to weave in the ends and hide that little tail. So this little tail here, I feel like this little piggy went to market. This little tail here is going to go squish up under here. Same with this one. This one's going to squish up under here. Here you can see in the corner, see these tails? How I've strategically placed them in the corner when I tie on. That is how I'm going to attempt to hide these in. And that is how you can help to keep your backs a little nicer. So if you look right here, see how this one's kind of a chunky monkey right here? And how you've got some of this bright orange kind of peeking up here? That is from weaving in my ends. These are a little more flat. But it does work very well. Same thing right here. See how this corner is kind of puffy? But on the front, you can't see it. It's very nice and hidden. And same thing on the back. So place your tails in a place where you can hide them a little easier. So for example, we're going to start this next color. This is, I love this yarn. This is the colorway City Beat. I get this from Hobby Lobby. And we're going to start this next color. So the way we do this, we're going to turn this round circle that we made into a square. And in one corner here, this is going to be the tallest stitches. We're going to do 2 treble crochets, chain 2 treble crochets. Then we're going to move to the next space and do 3 doubles. In the very center of the side, we're going to do 2 half doubles. Then as we get bigger and head to the corner, we're going to do 3 doubles. And then into the corner again, 2 trebles, chain 2 trebles. So when I first was making this square, I had put 3 into each, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, and it made it too bunched up and it wasn't laying very flat. So that's why I went ahead and reduced it, and now it lays very flat as we're working this along. Okay, so keeping in mind weaving in our tails, okay, I have these 2 tails right here. So as I'm thinking about where I'm going to place the corner stitch, I want a corner to be right here. That way I can weave in these tails and kind of tuck them into that corner and hide it. What I don't want to do is put a little side space right here over the tails because that's 2 little half doubles and that is not enough space to really strategically hide that tail. So what I do is I get a slip knot on my hook. We're going to start this next colorway. And I'm not going to start right over these tails. What I like to do is I think in my mind, okay, this is going to be a corner. Working backwards, this is my doubles. Here's the very middle of my square where the half doubles will be. Here's where the double crochets will be. Here's where a corner will be. The other thing that you can do is you can pop in some stitch markers where you want your corners to be. So I know this is going to be a corner. Then we have doubles, half doubles, doubles, another corner. So then I would pop in another stitch marker here. And basically in between each corner, we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 petals. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pop in another stitch marker. This helps to keep everything kind of organized as you're working. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, another corner here. And if your stitches are right, you would have 16. You should have four, 1, 2, 3, 4 in between the corners. So those help to keep it kind of organized when you're working this. Okay. So again, a corner will be right here. That will help me to hide these tails. So let's pop out our stitch marker for the first one. And I'm going to start with a standing treble. Now, if you do not like a standing treble, you could certainly do a chain of 4 here as well. I'm going to wrap my yarn around twice, so I have 3 loops on my hook. Again, secure your tail. You want to hold that, otherwise these stitches will spin off on you. Go down into the space, twist my hand forward, have Mr. Thumb here hold that tail, and then yarn over and grab up a loop. So we have a total of 4 loops. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. Now again, we need another treble crochet for our corner, chain 2, and right back down into that same corner space, we need 2 trebles, although I just made a double. Doot doot doot. Rewind that. Hey Victoria, good morning. Amy, thank you so much for the heart me and becoming the 116th member of the fan club. Okay, so there is our corner. 2 trebles, chain 2, 2 trebles. Now I'm not going to do any chains or anything. I'm going to move right to the next space here, and I'm going to do 3 double crochets. So our corners are the tallest stitches, and we're going to get smaller as we work along. Now here we are to the very middle. Bell Box, good morning. How are you? Victoria reached level 18. Nice. Okay, and for the very middle of our square here on the side, we're going to do 2 half doubles. So tall, smaller, smallest. Now working out to our corner here, this is where our corner is going to be. We have to get back bigger. So we're going to switch now and do the inverse. We're going to do 3 double crochets. Okay, and now here we are to the corner. I'm going to pop out my stitch marker. And we have our tails here. I'm going to work over these tails and kind of give myself a head start. We're going to do 2 trebles. Wrap your yarn around twice, right down in treble crochet, chain 2. Kia, thank you so much for the roses. And again, right back down into that space, 2 more treble crochets. So this becomes our corner. And like magic, we have finished one side of the square, and you can see it's gone from round shaped here to now square shaped. So 2 trebles, chain 2, 2 trebles, 3 half doubles, very middle, 2 half doubles, 3 doubles, and then back to the corner. So now I'm going to move those tails out of the way, but you can see how I'm going to weave those in, right? And make them so they're nice and hidden under these stitches. So strategically, work out where you're going to hide those tails. That'll make your job a lot easier when you're finishing this up. Working along the side now, we need 3 double crochets. Here we are to the very center, half double, another half double, so 2 half doubles. Now we're working towards the corner. We're going to get back larger now, taller, 3 doubles. Okay, and here we are back to the corner. Let's pop out our stitch marker. And here we go, 2 treble crochets. 2 trebles, chain 2, and 2 trebles. Mom and Papa Wheeler are in Texas this morning. They made it to Shamrock, Texas last night is where they stayed. They've got a couple more days on the road. They like to spread their trip out so that they don't have to do so much driving in one day. My mom does not drive. So Papa Wheeler does all the driving, all the chauffeuring. He shuttles around Miss Daisy. My mom will drive like in town, but when they're traveling like on the freeways and stuff, she doesn't do that. Hey Kay, good morning. So anyhow, they stayed in Shamrock, Texas last night, and I'm sure they'll be getting up and getting on the road this morning. But I think they stay tonight near Albuquerque, New Mexico. And then from Albuquerque, they'll drive through and they'll be home. They'll be home, guess tomorrow now. They'll be home. That is tomorrow the 10th? I think it is. They're supposed to arrive home. So again, here we are to the corner, three trebles, chain two, excuse me, two trebles, chain two, and two trebles. Sultan, good morning. Passenger princess. That's right, Vicky. She's a smart cookie. Mr. Wheeler will let me drive on the freeway, but I don't know. They take the 40 across, and if anybody has driven the 40, they those truckers, they can become a little intimidating. And I'm not gonna lie, Wheeler gets a little like sketch when we're driving. All right, they get right up on you. They're whizzing around you. It's Yeah. I live in Albuquerque. I wouldn't stay the night here. Yeah, Albuquerque has a reputation of getting vehicles broken into. So I don't think they're staying in Albuquerque. I think they stay either before Albuquerque or after Albuquerque. I'm not sure exactly the town that they're staying in. It's not Albuquerque itself because it's kind of like Memphis. You don't stay in Memphis, right? It's one of those. Yeah, the 40 is challenging. Okay, so here we are. We finished our last three doubles. Now I'm going to join with a slip stitch and I'm going to slip stitch my way over to the corner. Again, the reason why I go to the corner is about the strategic placement of where my tails are going to be for weaving in. I'm going to snip off here. And what this does by moving to the corner, you can see I have this tail here. Okay, the gray. And I'll go ahead and weave these in so I can kind of show you guys what I'm talking about for placing your ends. I'm going to take this tail, I'm going to weave it down through this stitch, and then I'm going to weave it back and forth here in the corner. Okay. This one right here, I'm going to save. I'm not going to weave it in right now, but I will weave it in after we come back and add the white. Oh, you're going to stop in Nashville. Nashville's a fun time. I've only been up to Nashville a couple times, and I haven't stayed in Nashville a long time. Oh, good. You're interested in crochet too. We love crochet around here. I crochet every morning. If you're new to my channel, I'm not sure how many new followers we've had this morning. Oops, wrong button. I don't want to cancel. What am I doing here? 9 new followers this morning. So, welcome into the new followers. For those that do not know, my name is April. And I'm a hobby crocheter. I come on live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday mornings at 7:30 Central Time. And we have a fabulous group of friends here that watches me, and we just hang out and have coffee and do our little crochet chat. So I weave this down through this stitch. Okay, the color matches nicely. You can't tell from either the front or the back that I've done that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to weave back and forth here, and again, I'm trying to split these fibers to make it more secure as I'm weaving in and out. Okay. So I go back and forth and I do this a number of times. They say to do it a minimum of 3 times to make sure your stitch is very nice and secure. But I'll tell y'all, sometimes I do more than that. Hey, Leah, good morning. How are you, friend? Nice to have you here this morning, hanging out with all the crochet gals and guys. So I have one, I'll go ahead and weave it in one more time. Again, I'm splitting the fibers, and what I mean by that, it's kind of hard to see on the live, but I'll show you on the next one. We're going to weave in the coral color. If I can get this back on my needle. Y'all, I have to tell you a story about my needle. I know who could have a story about a needle, right? So I'm sitting here one day and I use metal darning needles, right? The little metal ones. And I was weaving in tails in my square. And we have time for a story, right? Um, I could not find my needle. All of a sudden, I was like, I just had it. Where did it go? I look on the table. It's not next to me. I'm squirreling around in my lap trying to find my needle. I get up out of my chair and am looking around for it. And of course, the dogs are milling around me. And I've got Mr. Wheeler looking for my needle. Everybody's on a mission to find my needle. Okay. I had picked up my iPhone and I did not realize, I can't show y'all because my phone is obviously filming right now, but I didn't realize on the back of the case that my phone uses, it has like this circle part that is magnetic. Y'all, my needle was magnetized to my phone. We tore apart the chair. We moved the chair out. We looked we looked everywhere. Finally, I'm like, I'm just going to get another one. 30 minutes later, I pick up my phone out of my lap. I turn it over. There's my needle stuck to the back of my phone like a genius. Y'all, has that happened to anybody else? Or am I just that special? Y'all can tell me if I'm that special. I don't mind. I can take it. Mad Red said that is a great way to keep your needle. I know, right? It got me thinking I should magnetize them. So there is something good that came out of my needle being magnetized to my phone. So one of the things I have is I had purchased magnets, the heavy duty magnets, for my little yarn holder thing, right? They're really powerful. And you can see one just give me back my needle. So I keep this next to my chair. Here's one of my little hair clippies, right, for my yarn. Here's another needle, but I just put a magnet here on the top, and this just kind of chills next to me on my chair, and I magnetize stuff to this so that I don't lose it. This is like a little. This was in something I got a long time ago, like um, vintage stuff. I have no idea what this little guy is. He's got a point on one side. He's kind of rounded and he's flat, but he's good at pointing stitches. He's got a little rounded end here. I have Googled this. I've done an image search. I can't read what this says, the text. It's really hard. I have no idea what this is, but I keep this little guy here next to me. He magnetizes too. So he's obviously like steel. But oh, it's for your nails? Okay. All right. I believe that. Well, for me, it's for my crocheting. So anyhow, what came of my needle magnetizing to my phone was I thought, oh, that's a great way to keep my needles from losing them all on my uh, table and stuff. It's a doomahickey. Yes, it is. And a thingamabob. Mad Red. So anyhow, just weave in my tails here, but yeah, that's what came of my too funny. Uh I have another story for y'all, but let's wait on that one. I'm going to start the next round here and we're going to talk about stitches. So we'll have another story I got to tell y'all. It's a diesel story. So here is our square so far. So again, the very center, if you're just joining on, I started with 16 double crochets into a magic ring. Now you could definitely do a chain of 3 or 4 for the center of your square. That would be perfectly fine as well. The colorway in the middle is Pale Peach by Big Twist. It's some scrap I had laying around. Then the little petals are 2 together treble crochets. And I did 16 groups of those. I put a chain of 2 in between each one of those petals. Okay. Then we just came back around and I used the colorway City Beat. Okay, this is a variegated yarn or like a striping yarn, I guess. I love this yarn. It's called City Beat. It has pretty peaches and yellows and grays. The one we just did happened to be the gray color, but you can see here I've got a number of different squares that I have finished. So once I put them all together, I think it's going to be really, really pretty. I love it with the yellow and the peach. Isn't that nice? Here's another like grayish one. So I just am letting these colors flow, okay? So what we need to do now is we're going to do the white around this square. The white is just kind of a stabilizing row. I'm going to put these squares together with the modern granny. Okay. And you can see pictures of this blanket on my TikTok. I have done, hey, Debbie, good morning. I've done a few of these blankets, or two of them. I did the um, English Rose and then the Glacier Bay. I'm going to use the same methodology for this pattern. So what I wanted to do was to have granny stitches on the outside of my square. So that way I could incorporate it with the um, modern granny. And basically I need 20 squares and then the rest will be the modern granny. So the thing I really like about doing it this way is I don't like making like 50 granny squares. I don't have the patience to do that. I get really bored with it. And so 20 I can do. And I feel like that is a really nice compromise. So the last round is very easy. We're going to do three double crochets, chain two, three double crochets. Then I'm going to put three double crochets into each of the sections. And I'm not going to do any chaining or anything in between. The colorful is still a double treble. I'm using US terms. We call this a treble crochet. So this is two trebles, chain two, two trebles. And then this is doubles. Now, again, US terms is what I'm using and half double. And these little petals are two together treble crochets. So again, treble crochets here, US terms. Okay. So I'm using red heart white for my square here. Just something. Oh, I've got it connected to my blanket. Well, don't worry, I've got more white here. Let's just get another roll of it here. I've always got a lot of white hanging out with me. Here we go. Okay, so again, I'm going to start with a slip knot on my hook. Hey, Shauna, good morning. How are you? And here we go. Let's start over here in this corner. Whenever I'm doing squares, I finished here. I like to rotate my work and just choose a different corner. I'm going to start with a standing double. Okay. I secure my tail and I wrap my yarn around once. So we have two loops on our hook. The center is double crochet, Leah. There are 16 double crochets here in the center and 16 petals. The petals are worked in between the post. Okay. 16 in the center and then 16 petals. So there's actually 32 stitches, but 16 of two together. Okay. Secure your tail here. Wrap your yarn around once. Go into the corner. Again, twist my hand. This thumb is going to hold that tail. If he lets go, that's going to spin off. We have three loops on our hook. Yarn over, pull through two, and yarn over, pull through two. Now we need two more double crochets. If you do not like doing the standing double, you most certainly could do a stacked single here for your first stitch. You could do a chain of three, chain of two. Sometimes people prefer that. Whatever you like to do is completely fine. So here's our corner, three double crochets, chain two, three double crochets. Working directly into the next space here, I'm not going to do any chaining or anything. We're going to do three doubles. Okay, so we're just basically making our little granny clusters as you would for any granny square. Okay, skip to the next space here, double crochet. We're going to do three of them. Hey, Karina, good morning. Red Lady, thank you so much for the roses this morning. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Let's see, set up a new. My phone is up kind of high. I'm having a hard time seeing this screen. I hope I don't miss the puzzle today. Let's do puff hearts because that's what I can see here. Oh no, I don't want one. Hang on, edit 100. That way I don't have to set it up so much. Okay, here we go. Resume. It looks like a poppy with the red yarn. It does. It's a coral color, and the camera I don't know if it's the camera that makes it a little brighter red, but it's definitely a coral color yarn. So it's not quite as red as it's showing up on the screen, but it is really, really pretty. It is a discontinued yarn, but I had a couple skeins in my stash and I thought it looked really nice with the city beat. So that's why I chose it. And I'm trying to use up scraps. Hey, Walisha, how are you? This square that I'm making, I made this the first time with the English rose blanket. So you can rewatch that on my YouTube. Let's see. Unruly Mob Queen says, "Good morning. My granddaughter was trying to talk to you yesterday through my phone." Well, hello, granddaughter. I don't know if she's there with you today, but that is awesome. I try to keep it very kid friendly. I've had people message me and say that they have their kids, listening in and stuff. And the thing is, I learned to crochet when I was 9. And so I don't set the restriction to 18 or older. We usually don't have any issues with kids coming by and creating chaos. But, I would have loved when I was little to watch people crochet because we didn't have internet. We didn't have YouTube. It didn't exist. And so uh, all of the technology that is available today makes it pretty cool. It's pretty darn cool, I think. So anyhow, that's awesome that your granddaughter was listening. I think that's amazing. Like I said, I've had a number of folks tell me that their kids listen to me in the morning. And I've had one say they love it when we do the color picker day of when we do like the granny squares. Remember when we made the granny squares and we were voting for all the colors? That is a fan favorite with the kiddos. Stacy, good morning. How are you, friend? So that's always fun. We haven't done one of those in a while. The mods get a workout on days where I do uh, granny squares with all different colors, and we have to pick the colors. So, got to give the mods a little break, right? How about a round of applause for the mods? And we're almost to 50,000 likes, 49.8. Let's go ahead and sound the alarm now. Thank you so much, everybody, for all of the screen taps. Thank you to all the mods for hanging out this morning, helping us out. We have Pam and Leah and Anvil and Gen X. I don't know if everybody's here this morning. I think I saw Leah earlier. I don't know if I've seen Pam today, but Anvil and Gen X are here hanging out with us. So very, very fun. Let's see. That is so much fun. Maggie did the other day for her 19 square bag. I know, Linda, right? When we got to go to the wall and go shopping, that was really fun. I really enjoyed that. That was a good time. My yarn wall to go shopping, it's more like a field trip. We would have to get up and get off the chair and it's not close. It's over here to my left, but it would definitely be a harder field trip to make. So, anyhow, but if you guys see pictures of my video wall, there's a video of my yarn wall, and you want me to crochet with something, you could always say, which one you want me to crochet with, and I'll definitely try to accommodate. Eventually, all that stuff is going to get used. So, okay, here we go. Last stitch, last corner here, last stitch. I'm going to join now with a slip stitch to the very corner. And then I'm going to go ahead and work my way over to the corner. And then I'm going to tie off here. I seen that next to when I went and revoted for the sugar cookie. Yeah, Maggie had this yarn on her shelf. It's a popular yarn, this one that I'm using. This is called City Beat. City Beat from Hobby Lobby. I've had this on my shelf for a while. I've been wanting to use. I started these squares a couple weeks ago. Field trip Friday idea. I know, right? I thought about doing that. I thought about doing uh, uh, kind of where we just go in the yarn room. It's hard because there's not a lot of room for me to sit in there with the bed. It's kind of cozy in there, and I can't see the TV, so we wouldn't be able to do a live with YouTube. It would have to be TikTok only. So there is the finished square. Okay. Friends, if you missed the beginning of this, don't worry. I'm going to make another one. I'm not sure what time it is, but I think we have time for another one. So we're going to make one up. Now, the other thing is, remember, you can always rewatch my lives over on YouTube. Okay. My handle over there is Wheeler 8 Acres. So be sure and seek me out. There are links on my profile to my YouTube page, and you can definitely go check that out. The City Beat color is variegated. So we're just letting this row kind of flow, and you can see there's different colors as it's pulling from that skein and making it really, really pretty. Once we sew them all together, I think it's going to look fabulous, and I'm very excited. 8:20. Okay, so we still have some time. We have another hour. We're going to make another square. I'm doing good. So we're going to start with the very center in this peach color. Thank you for making the start of my workday more enjoyable. You are very welcome, Mad Red. Thanks for hanging out with all of us. This colorway we're doing is pale peach. It's something that I had left over from one of our other projects. We made granny squares with this past spring. So I thought it would be a nice color for the center. So again, it's Big Twist, just something I had hanging out. And we're going to start with a magic ring. And the way I do this is I hold my yarn and I pull down a loop, and I make it so that it's crisscrossed here, and I hold it between my thumb and my middle finger. 2 subs away from 100. How about that? I wanted to gift a sub. Let me see if I can do that this morning here. How do I do this on my tablet? I wanted to gift one to my mom. Let's see, send subscription to others, specific users. I got to try to find her. I don't know. Maybe it won't let me do it if she's not on the live. I might have to wait until she's. Oh, I don't think I can do it. I need to send one to my mom. Um, let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna have to wait and do that. Um, you can? How do I do it? It won't let me. Let's see. Send subscription to others, specific users, friends. It says 92 friends, but I know I have more than that. View history, no subscriptions. No, it won't let me. Won't let me do it. I could send random. You agree to subscription terms. Let me see if I can do this from my tablet. I'm going to send out one tap by. Sure. I'm going to send out 5 just to say thank you. So the not now. Did it work? There it goes. It worked. Um, I'll wait and do mom later. But so for the subscriber giveaway, friends, for the month of July, because the cinnamon squirrel cakes were so popular for June, we are going to do 4 of the cinnamon swirl cakes. 4 of the cinnamon swirl cakes. I'm using an I9 hook this morning. So I didn't see who all got the subscriptions that I gave, but welcome in. Now you get to use fun stickers. I change up those stickers almost daily, friends. It's a lot of fun. And if you are a subscriber, you'll see where it says VIP next to your name. Oh, thank you, Gen X. Thank you. I appreciate that. She was on my list to send one to, and I wanted to send one to Pam also. Pam is a moderator here. I wanted her to have a subscription. Um, oh, and Gen X Girl got sent out some subscriptions. Y'all are too kind. What great a friend, what a great friend group, right? Vicky said your stickers are fabulous. Vicky, you're gonna have to come by tomorrow. I have a really good one for tomorrow. You guys are gonna love it. You're gonna love it. Anyhow, hey Sparky. Anyhow, if you are a subscriber, you'll see a little VIP next to your name, and then you can use these stickers. So if you want to know how to use the stickers, when you go to type on the chat, there is like where it says like type and then there's a little smiley face. When you click on the smiley face, there's and bring that up, there's a little star that has like a circle going around it. And you can choose the pictures from there if you're a subscriber. Mama Bird, good morning. So anyhow, we'll do the subscriber giveaway towards the end of the month. I need to figure out the day. There, Adriana used some. Kim used some. You may have to exit and come back to get access. That is very true. Thank you, Jen. If you just subscribe, sometimes you have to leave and then come back. It has to like reset itself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Can you explain how TikTok works? Marcia, TikTok is a separate platform that a lot of people use. And so, like this morning, there's 200 friends watching me crochet on TikTok. And it's a separate platform. Um, but it's like any of the social media. So YouTube is a platform, TikTok is a platform, and people on excuse me, people on TikTok, they pay. Some of them choose to pay $2.99 a month for the subscriber perks, and basically that gets them entered into the subscriber giveaway. So they pay the $2.99 a month. It also gets them access to sub only videos that I make, and along with the little stickers that I make. So basically, on YouTube, you can't really, I think you can do some emotes on the chat, but you can't do, no, you don't have to pay to use TikTok. It's just like Instagram or Facebook or any of those. Let's see. Patty, I am using US terms this morning, but I did 16 double crochets into the center. I think if you're using UK terms, those are triples, but don't quote me. So US terms, 16 double crochets into the magic ring is what I just did. Okay. So that is the very center of our square that we're making. This is called the English rose square. And we're just starting a brand new one here. Now you'll be able to go back and rewatch this on YouTube. My handle over there is Wheeler 8 Acres. Okay. I need to make a video of this for TikTok. I just haven't had a chance. So in the center, 16 double crochets. Now we're going to come back with this coral color, and I'm going to do 2 together treble crochets. And instead of working in the top of the stitches, normally you work here under the, this is the front loop that faces me, the back loop faces away from me. Instead of working under those 2 loops, we are going to work in between the post. So I'm going to go right here in between, placing those 2 stitches that will act as a flower petal. So you can kind of see how they're placed here. So again, 2 together treble crochets. Now this yarn I'm using has been discontinued. I got this many, many years ago at Hobby Lobby. It's called Crafter Secret. The colorway is coral, and it's showing up a much brighter red on screen than it is in real life. It's definitely it's like a mango color. I would describe it as mango, but mango, coral, same difference. So I'm going to start with a slip knot on my hook. Again, give yourself a long enough tail here so you can weave that in. Then I'm going to work in between these posts. Okay, so here we go. You're going to pull those apart, and I'm going to start with a standing treble. I wrap my yarn around twice, and I hold my tail here between my pointer and my thumb. If I let this go, what happens is this spins off, and then all of a sudden we're back down to 1 loop. Hey, Rachel, good morning. Okay, so wrap your yarn around twice. Then I go in between those posts, and my hand is at a weird angle. So what I have to do is I twist my hand forward, and now I give the job of holding this tail to this thumb. We still have 3 loops. If this thumb lets go, it will spin off in the same way. Anvil, have a great day. Thanks for hanging out with me this morning, Anvil. Appreciate your help with the live as always. Yarn over, pull up a loop. So now we have 4 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. Now, normally I would yarn over and pull through here again. Instead, I'm not going to finish this stitch. Okay, I'm just going to hold this and I'm going to start right into this same space, another treble crochet. Wrap my yarn around twice. Again, right down in, grab up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. Once we get to the point where we have 3 loops on our hook, I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to pull this underneath all 3 of those loops. We're going to squish those together. Chain 2, and now I'm going to move to the next stitch here in the space, and I'm going to repeat those 2 together treble crochets. Wrap my yarn around twice, right down in, grab up a loop. Hey, Cheryl. Cheryl sporting the Wild Wheeler sticker. That's me on a quad. Mr. Wheeler is filming me. Of course, Diesel's there in on the action as well, in typical Diesel form. Oh, while I'm working on these petals, oh, Jen, thank you so much for doing that. I appreciate that. Pam helps to moderate the channel here, so I like when she's able to use the stickers. I know not everybody has the funds to be a subscriber, so anyhow, I like to share those out when we can. I really appreciate that. Um, I may have missed some of the folks joining on here. Let me rewind a little bit. Um, Debbie, good morning. I don't know if I saw you. Chrissy, good morning. I'm not sure if I said good morning. Sparky in the house. Sparky is a VIP, so you can see anybody who's a subscriber, you see the little VIP next to their name. Need to reset the gift goal. Wow, thank you so much for all of the gifts this morning. What can I say? You guys amaze me all the time. How about some red hot chili peppers? Okay, I have to tell you all a little Diesel story. Paloma, good morning. How are you, friend? So anyhow, 2 together treble crochets into each of these. Okay, so again, right in between treble crochet. And when we get to the very last part here, when you're back down to 2 loops, we're not going to finish that. Sherilyn said, I love subscribing to you because you give back to others. I do, Sherilyn. So far, I don't know if you guys heard, I am trying to make one wheelchair size blanket to donate per month for this year. My count thus far for the month of June, so January through June, 6 months, I have made 24 blankets for donation. There's 7 of them that are en route right now to Arizona to go to the VA center where my dad was. I have 4 that are finished that are going to go to Launchpad up in Nashville. And then the other part of that, I can't math. What's 24 minus 11? 13? Is that 24? 13 blankets are going to go to Sabre Healthcare to assisted living facilities. They're all wheelchair size. So I'm pretty proud of the fact that I made 24 wheelchair blankets in the first 6 months. I think that's a pretty big accomplishment. Like, I feel pretty proud about that, honestly. I've worked really hard to get all those done. Kia and Rocky, thank you so much for the red heart chili peppers. Um, yeah, I think it's pretty cool. It's a small price literally to pay to support one of the very best TikTok creators around. Thank you, Sparky. You are too kind. There's a lot of great creators on TikTok, and for someone to say that I'm one of those is truly a great honor. Like I said, we've been on live now for 1 year. July 5th was my anniversary. So, friends, if you did not hear yesterday, there is a video on my TikTok celebrating 1 year of being on TikTok, going live. And in that video, I share that I'm going to give away a set of Clover Amore hooks to any one person. You just have to be a follower. Okay, so follow Wheeler. My name is April. You're going to make sure you're following. and then comment on the video and like the video. I'm going to use one of those random comment pickers to select a winner. There'll be one winner of those hooks. You do not have to be in the United States. I have a lot of people that follow overseas, and for this celebration, I don't care where you're at. I don't care if you're the winner and you're in, you know, Africa. So we have some people watching, Australia, Canada, France. I don't care where you're at. Okay, UK. I will send you that set. Okay, so make sure that you comment and like the video and make sure that you're following, and I will do it. I'll announce it as a video who the winner is. Okay, but it's just a way of saying thank you. I will tell you all, if it hadn't been for you guys, um I would not be here for a year crocheting every day. It is each and every one of you that comes and participates and chats with me and hangs out that makes it. It's a 1 year anniversary video, Betty. It says we've made it 1 year anniversary, something to that effect. And it shows all the, well, it doesn't show all, but it shows a lot of projects that we have worked on during the year. And you can see the crochet hooks in that video. You have to kind of watch, you have to watch it for a ways to see the hooks. Um, your magic ring isn't working this morning, Sparky. Take a breath, take a walk around the house, get some coffee, and then come back to it, and maybe it'll work. So look for that video. That is the 1 year anniversary video. Okay, that is where you make the comment. And make sure that you're not replying to the video. Sometimes if you reply to the video, it sends me a message. You need to comment on the video, otherwise the comment picker won't see your comment. Okay, so once I get done with this row, we're going to snip off, and we are done with the coral yarn. Hey Shay, good morning. Texas whiskey in the house. I'll pull my magic ring closed a little bit here. Okay, so there is round 2 completed. So to recap, for those that are just joining on into the magic ring, I did 16 double crochets. Then I came back in between each of those posts and I worked 2 together treble crochets. Again, US terms, friends, is what I'm using this morning. And I created 16 of these petals. So I think it was 16. Let me count and make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we need to take this round shape and turn it from a round into a square. Okay. And the way we do this is by using tall stitches to short stitches back to tall stitches. Okay. So in the corner, we're going to do 2 treble crochets, chain 2, and 2 treble crochets. And I'm doing that into the space. Then we're going to do a little shorter stitches. We're going to do 3 double crochets. On the side is the very shortest, 2 half doubles. Then we're going to get larger and go back out to the corner. So we're going to do 3 doubles and then back to 2 trebles, chain 2, 2 trebles. We're going to repeat that on each side. So if you don't need stitch markers, you certainly do not have to use them. But what I like to do, especially if you're a new crocheter, use your stitch markers, whatever you've got. If you don't have a stitch marker, use a safety pin, use a bobby pin, whatever you've got around the house. I'm going to make this one of the corners. Okay, so where this tail is, I'm going to put a stitch marker. That tells me this is going to be a corner. So right here is what I mean by the corner. And what that does is it gives me a good amount of space here that I can weave in my tail. Okay, so be strategic where you start your square. Okay, then I'm going to skip 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 petals. After the 4th petal, I'm going to put in another stitch marker. This indicates to me this is another corner. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, into the space, stitch marker. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last stitch marker, 4 corners. Okay. then 1, 2, 3, 4, if you mathed everything right. So you can see that will help you as you are planning and going around for your stitch markers, okay? For your corners, I mean. And so the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to get my variegated yarn. Okay, this is the variegated. This particular yarn I'm using today is I Love This Yarn by Hobby Lobby, and it is City Beat. And this is what it looks like. How do you make it stay flat? Because anytime I start adding more stitches, it rounds like into a bow. Sarah Hill, do you mean here or where is it bowing? Sometimes it will bow up, but you can see, so see like this, see how I've kind of, it's a little not flat right here. After you come back and add the square stitches, it helps to flatten it out. So sometimes in the center, you can see I've got a bunch of these. Before you kind of get them flattened out, they do kind of bow up a little bit. You could block them. You can see this one's kind of more bowed up, but they do flatten out at the end, at the end. Like on your white right here? Is it this particular square you're trying to make or a different one? Typically what happens is if it is bowing up a lot, so like if it's wavy, right? What that means is you have too many stitches along the edge. So for example, we could do it, I'll show you. I'll show you what I mean. And then I'll frog it out, okay? When I first started making this square and I was playing around with the stitches, in the corner right here, I did 3 trebles, chain 2, 3 trebles. Then I did 3 and 3 and 3 and 3 and 3. So I was trying to keep it even. And what happened when I did that many stitches is it started to become really like wavy. So let me show you what I mean by that. And basically it starts to like almost like pucker up and the square doesn't lay flat. And so what you have to do, that was supposed to be a treble. That's all right. We're just going to wing it here. Um, what you have to do is you have to reduce the amount of stitches that you have in each of the corners and along the side because it just gets too wavy. There's too many stitches. So I'm doing this wrong intentionally right now, guys. Okay, so hang tight here. In the corner here, let's do our 3 trebles, even though we're not doing 3 trebles. This is for illustration only. We're messing it up. One more. I just went over that stitch marker. Oh well. Okay. So when I was trying to get this to lay flat, what was happening? Do you see how like compact this is and how it's like kind of bowing up right here? It's because there are too many stitches. So when I went down to a lesser amount, it helped this to lay flat. So a lot of times if your squares are bowing, it's either your tension or you have too many or not enough stitches. If you don't have enough stitches, what'll happen is this part in the middle will squish up and create bowing. If you have too many, then the edges will ruffle and kind of make waves. Does that make sense? Does that help at all with your question? I'm going to frog this out. We're going to do it the right way for this square. But let me know if that helps to answer your question. Okay, so into the very first corner here, I'm going to pop out my stitch marker. Patrice said, I wish you could do tutorials of this. Patrice, I live stream every day, both on TikTok and on YouTube. Everything that I'm doing today is published out over on my YouTube channel. My handle is Wheeler 8 Acres. And what you do when you go over there, you go to the live tab. So when you look at my YouTube profile, you'll see videos, shorts. There's another category that says live. And when I live stream, like this morning, I'm watching myself on my TV. I can see myself directly in front of myself here. That is landscape. So you can watch it on your TV, and you can always rewatch any of the things that I'm making. And I just found that that's the easiest way for me to do this because honestly, with working full time, I just don't have the bandwidth to make official tutorials. And I get asked a lot of questions of people who want to rewatch the video or how did you do this? And so I refer them over to my YouTube. But again, friends, my handle over there is Wheeler 8 Acres. I highly encourage you, if you're not subscribed over on my YouTube, be sure and do that because you may find a project that you want to work on and make. And you can find all of the previous lives as well. Sometimes I'm going to be working on something and you don't have um, the time to watch. Maybe you've got a dentist appointment or anything like that. And so, you can, always watch it later. Where do you find the video you were talking about earlier? Remind me, Debbie, which video was I talking about? Which one? So here you can see it's laying nice and flat now. So in the corners, we have two trebles, chain two trebles. Then we do three doubles, no chaining or anything in between, getting shorter as we move towards the center. Here's the very center, two half doubles. The anniversary one is on my TikTok. The anniversary video is on my TikTok. If you can't find it, send me a DM and I'll send you the link. But you got to go to my page. Click up here on the little dog. A bar will fly up the bottom. Click on the dog again. That'll take you to my page. And then it's like, I don't know, what is it, guys? Like the third video? I just barely put it out. Okay, so in the corners again, two trebles, chain two trebles. Now here we go along the next side. We need three double crochets. Okay, and now along the side in the very center, we need two half doubles. Mima, I'm making a granny square this morning. This is what we're making, a granny square. This is called the English Rose granny square. Okay, so here we go. Three trebles, chain two, three trebles. Again, three doubles, getting smaller. Here we are in the very center, two half doubles. Now, here is our corner stitch marker, okay? So this is telling us we're going to put a corner right here. And we need to get bigger as we head to the corner. Again, we are making this into a square from a rectangle. So into the next space here, we need three double crochets. Pop out our stitch marker. And again, this is where we're going to put our corner. So the corner is the very tallest of the stitches. We're going to do two trebles, wrap my yarn around twice so we have three loops, go right down into that space, draw up a loop. Now we have four loops. US terms I'm using today, friends. Yarn over, pull through two, yarn over, pull through two, and yarn over and pull through two. Again, wrap our yarn around twice. We need another treble, chain two for the corner. Squish these over if you need to. We're going to go right back down into this space. We need two more treble crochets. When you're commenting on the anniversary video, make sure you click on where it says comment on the right side. Click on the little dots and write your comment. Okay. Sometimes if you message me the comment, that does not work for the comment picker. So now we're going to continue working along the side here. Again, getting shorter. We need three double crochets. Very shortest right here in the middle, two half doubles. Working towards the corner, we need to get larger or taller. We're going to do three doubles. Change into yellow here. Isn't that pretty? Pop out my stitch marker, and again, back here to the corner, the very tallest of stitches, we need two trebles, chain 2, and 2 trebles. Maggie, thank you so much. Reach level 14. Good morning, Maggie. Were your ears burning? We were talking about you this morning. We were saying how fun it was on your live over the weekend when we got to go to the yarn wall and go shopping for what we were going to choose. And everybody was saying the yarn that I'm using today. I started this project a couple weeks ago, and I can't remember who mentioned, but they said, I saw this same yarn on Maggie's wall. And I said, it was there. This yarn was there. I saw it myself. What can I say, girl? You and I both have great taste. So the yarn that I'm using right now is I love this yarn. And this is the colorway City Beat. We get this from Hobby Lobby. Friends, Maggie is pinned right here on TikTok. If you are not following Maggie, you are missing out. You're missing out. I'm telling you. Give this gal a follow. City Beat, so pretty. And I'm just letting the colors flow. Okay. So right here along the side, again, 2 half doubles, the very shortest. Uh, Mima, did that help answer your question about the yarn? Everything I'm using today is a 4-weight acrylic. Crochet with me. Hey, good morning. How are you, friend? Thanks for being here this morning. We're making a little granny square. This is acrylic yarn, 4 worsted weight acrylic. I am using a size I9 hook this morning. Okay, again, right here into the last space, 3 double crochets. Then I'm going to join with a slip stitch to the very first stitch. Is it Hannah's birthday? Happy birthday, Hannah. I must have missed that comment. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Maggie's handle, Maggie is on YouTube, Marcia, and she also is on YouTube. I don't know how much she's posting on YouTube right now. But her handle is Magical Unicorn. Maybe Jen can post it there for you. Magical Unicorn, Maggie. Um, oh, I meant to do an extra stitch there. Hang on. Hold the phone. I'm going to snip off. We're done with this color. Sorry, a lot of squirrels just ran by. There we go. So there is, now we have transitioned. We've made this from a square around into a square. Yes, I slip stitch into the corner. So the way that my grandma taught me, Patty, is to always end in the corner. And the reason why she taught me that way is when you go to weave in your tails, typically in the corner, you have more stitch width here that you can weave in your ends. And it just makes it so that you can disguise your tails a little easier when you weave them in. So that is why I work myself into the corner. It's just a habit, actually. So, Texas Whiskey said, I have the same yarn. I love this cotton and made dish rags. Yeah, they have cotton of this yarn too. They have cotton. Debbie said she posted Graphgan on Maggie's Discord. I'll have to check that out. I'm on Maggie's Discord also. I'll definitely check that out. Yeah, shopping was very fun. It was all good talk, Maggie. Of course, it was good talk. I said your ears were burning because we saw this yarn on your shelf when we were shopping the other day, and it's just really pretty. Okay, so for the very last row now, we need to do our white yarn. But let me take a moment and weave in some ends. I know, be still my heart. And I'm going to weave in some ends. And the reason why, y'all, I'm going to weave in ends, I have a little story to tell. Y'all want to hear a story? I know we have time for story time, right? We're almost done with this square. I don't know how I'm doing on time. It hasn't given me a puzzle piece. The name is City Beat. City Beat. The variegated yarn is called City Beat. The coral yarn I'm using for the center has been discontinued. I think I've had it in my stash. It says it was copyright 2013. I've probably had it in my stash since that long. A crafter secret. I got this at some point at Hobby Lobby eons ago. coral. Anyhow, I looked the other day. It's a really pretty yarn. 8.55. Okay, awesome. Okay, so y'all, I have to tell you a little Diesel story. Do we have time for a Diesel story? So for those that don't know, Diesel is our dog. Okay, he is a Rottweiler. We got him in December, and Diesel is in his terrible teens right now. Let me just say, little Diesel has an appointment on the 21st. It's going to be a momentous day where the little berries are no longer going to be with us. He has an appointment with the vet. We're not going to be having any Diesel puppies, and Diesel needs to slow his roll. Okay. So, what is happening right now around my house is Diesel has decided he's going to mark everything, every table leg, every chair leg. The boy is working my nerves. So, anyhow, snippety snip snip on the 21st. Very exciting day for me here. I can't wait. I'm counting down the moments. I know that's probably not what you wanted to hear when you were having your coffee and donut this morning. And that wasn't my story. Okay. So anyhow, that's what we're dealing with right now. Diesel being a terrible teenager. But the other thing is Diesel thinks that everything that mom eats or dad eats, he needs to have a little sampling of. Y'all have pets like this where uh everything that I grab out of the fridge, he thinks he needs to participate in. So, one of my favorite snacks to have, y'all might think it's crazy. I love pickles. Okay. I'm a big pickle eater. I like pickled okra. I like pickled veggies. I like just dill pickles. Everything pickled. I like sweet pickles too. I made pickles, I made refrigerator pickles while Mama Wheeler was here. We went up to the the Mennonite market and I got some cucumbers and I made some. But in the meantime, I haven't had any I've been out for a while, okay? So I've been using the Wally World pickles, the Great Value, because you got to do what you got to do. All right. So mom goes to the fridge and I get out a pickle. And of course, I'm crunching on the pickle and it sounds delightful. It is delightful, right? Got my dill. It's in the afternoon. It's crisp. It's crunchy. And Diesel is looking at me like, excuse me, uh, tap, tap, tap. Anybody home? I need that. And so, anyhow, I said, buddy, you're not gonna like you're not gonna like this treat. This is not you're not gonna like this. I promise you. I would not steer you wrong, buddy. You are not going to enjoy this. Anyhow, after several moments of reasoning with him, and I'm still getting this look from the dog like, Mom, you're a terrible person for not sharing your pickle. I'm like, okay, fine. I will share my pickle with you. So I crunch down and I snip off a little bit. It's like this much. All right. Because I'm not going to waste a pickle on the dog. I know he's not going to like it. So of course he sits up real pretty because he thinks he's getting a treat. And into the mouth goes the pickle. Out of the mouth came right back the pickle. So of course, you guys know when you like crunch on things and you're like, this is so good, right? You do all the little, and then you can like convince the dog that it's something good to eat, like it's tasty, like you're reasoning with them, and mom really likes it. So I'm doing the whole work in the pickle thing, right? And so anyhow, pretty soon, I go back in my chair and I'm crocheting, and Diesel takes this pickle with him, this little tidbit, because he thinks it's something he should be enjoying, right? Of course, he's not enjoying it. And he brings it over to his bed and he's mouthing on it. And he's trying to, I don't know what he's doing with the pickle, but he's just not happy. So finally, and my mom was here. This was when mom was here. So pretty soon Diesel comes from his bed and he comes trotting over and he's got this pickle in his mouth and he comes and he drops it in my lap like um I'm returning this to sender. So now I've got the pickle in my lap. It's not a very big piece. Of course, it's all slobbered all over. Like he's exchanging it. So I get out the treat and I give him a real treat. Um, but he was just bound and determined. He like was insisting that he had to have that pickle. And no matter how much I told him, like, dude, you're not going to eat this pickle. Like, what part are you not getting? He was not getting it. So finally, I'm just like, whatever. I gave it to him, but it was really funny when it was like he brought it back over, like traipsed over and was like, "Here you go. I'm returning the pickle. Return to sender." So, anyhow, we don't have a pickle eater dog in the house. Maya said her dog will eat pickles. I don't know if Mo will eat pickles. I think Mo would. He's not as picky. But yeah, it was quite comical. So I don't know if pickles are going to be in Diesel's future. And now he knows. So not everything that Mama eats will go down smooth. Our dogs love apples. Ours do too. Ours do too. Was peeling and they were bent on having uh, some potatoes. Yeah, they can't have potatoes, but when they hear the peeler, Amy, mine do the same thing. Um, yeah, so Queen, he is a male. He's going the 21st. I feel like I should have a celebration that day because it's a Monday, and then I have to pick him up the following day. So I might be late on that live on the 22nd. We'll see. It's a ways off, but yeah, he's getting it because I'll tell you what, he was doing so good. He wasn't doing anything in the house. And just since my mom was here and Papa Wheeler, all of a sudden he has started like marking. He wants to mark everything. Knock on wood, there hasn't been any furniture marking as far as like couches and stuff. It has all been like dining room chairs, the chair legs on dining room table. I'm like, I get so frustrated. It's so annoying having a male dog. And Mo didn't do that. So I think it's because of I think it's from having two males. Like Diesel is trying to exert his dominance over Mo is what is happening. They're like fighting for who's going to be alpha is what I think is happening. But in the meantime, yeah, Mr. Diesel, he's got a date with the vet. So I broke my dog's begging habits by having tiny bits of lemon in a bowl and using that instead. Yeah, you have to sometimes. They don't beg usually. They're pretty good. Um, but every now and then he just is like, I definitely need a treat, mom. So I'm not doing any chains in between my double crochets, friends. Okay, so all I'm doing is the granny stitch to finish out this square. So in the corners, I'm doing 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. Okay, so chain 2 in the corners. Then I immediately move to the next section and do 3 double crochets. I'm not doing any chains. Now, if you're in the habit of doing chains in between, I don't think it would affect the square at all. Okay, so if you want to do a chain in between, just try it out. Make sure it's laying flat. I don't think anything would come from it. What we're talking about, friends, is a chain one here. Sometimes friends will chain in between. That's just kind of how they do their granny squares. But I am not doing that. I just feel like it gives it extra space that I don't necessarily need. So you put a chain right there. And I prefer it like this. I feel like it lays flatter than when you have a chain right here. So that's why I don't do that. So let's frog this back. So again, after I finish my double crochet, I immediately move to the next section and then do 3 double crochets. Let me see here. Do I need to reset the gift goal? I think I do. Thank you so much for the gifts this morning, friends. I appreciate that. Let me see if I can set up something else. I'm kind of limited. I can't see my camera very well this morning. It's at a funky angle, so let's see if that worked. uh, yeah, the dog drools net. They they do that too. Mo does that a lot. Our other dog, he will. I think it's because of the smells. He'll just sit there and it's like drooling, you know. Blissful, thank you so much. This is a square that is called the English rose. I've made this in a number of different colors. We started this from the very beginning on the live this morning. In the center, we started here with 16 double crochets. And then we came back for the second round and worked in between uh, two trebles together. And then I did a chain of two in between each of those. So that's the little petal. And the peach color I used is not Hobby Lobby, Big Twist Pale Peach. The orangish color is Coral, and it is actually a discontinued yarn. But anything would work with this. I just picked colors that complemented. I wanted this to kind of be the star of the show. I love this yarn. Again, I got this from Hobby Lobby. This is called City Beat. Everything I'm working with today is a 4-weight acrylic, and I'm using an I9 hook. Blissful Boutique said, I am a crocheter as well. Awesome. We have a lot of crocheters here. So thanks for being here this morning and hanging out with us. This is my second square that I have made this morning. So I will be hopping off here pretty soon. I'm not sure what time it is. My work, I'll tell you, my 9 to 5 this week has been crazy. It has been crazy is an understatement. Donna, I am not chaining one in between the 3 double crochets. Okay. Once I finish the third double crochet here, I move to the next stitch and I just do 3 more double crochets. So no chain in between. I don't like how it puckers up. Um, it makes it, I want it to lay flat. 907. I don't think I have enough time to start another whole square. We could maybe do an outline on another one. I have some already started here. Vicky says, gotta run, meeting the family. We're going to the Brewers play the Dodgers. Oh, nice. Nice. I hope it's not too hot out there, Vicky. Take plenty of water. If do they allow you to take water to the game? They probably do. I'm sure you all get beverages there, but have fun. I do not usually chain in between the clusters. I chain on the corners, but not in between. Again, it's just a preference. That's how I learned. So, oh, my tablet is almost going bye-bye. I need to plug it in. Hang on. Tailgate will commence soon. Nice. Oh, I was down to 5%. So humid here, right, Kim? This morning, the fog in the pasture, I couldn't even see any of the trees or houses around us. The fog was so thick. I couldn't see the cows in the neighbor pasture. We can bring one open bottle of water. Oh, that's good. That's good. I won't tell you what I used to bring in those when I'd go to a concert and stuff. Only a couple times in my wild days. My girlfriend was really good about getting those tops off. Let's just say that. Okay, so once I get to the corner, I slip stitch over to the corner. So I go in the first stitch here and I slip stitch. And then I just work my way over to the corner. That is how Grams taught me to do it, is to work into the corners. And that way I would have plenty of room to weave in my tail. Okay, so I'm going to snip off here. And you do have quite a few uh, tails to weave in. We can kind of flatten this out a little bit. It kind of is curly when you first finish it, but it'll flatten itself out. And so that is what we're working with. So this is called the um, English Rose. I've made this in a number of different colors. You could rewatch this over on my YouTube. But it is a really fun and easy square. I like it. Donna said, I'm a self taught crocheter. Awesome. Well, you found the right place. Brutal heat here in Wisconsin. I know it's been miserable all over. I'm sorry, Net. I'm sure it's. Do you have a lot of humidity right now too? Everybody's got humidity. Hey, Cassie. Good morning. Let's see here. Pam said, I would love to crochet. I bought everything I need and haven't started. Pam, it is never too late. to start crocheting, find yourself a good YouTuber that you like their tutorial videos, or maybe even on TikTok. And that is what I would recommend, watching the tutorials. Start practicing with your chain. Tension is an important thing that you'll have to take some time to learn. So just be sure and give yourself grace. You're not going to learn it overnight. It definitely takes some time. But here are the squares that we're working on this morning. These are going to be for a blanket. Susan said, "Good morning. Finally able to get off." Susan, so glad you're here this morning. We've missed seeing you. Um, Paloma said, "The only bad things about granny squares is all the tails." I agree. I agree. I do not do any chains in between my clusters, guys. Um, excuse me. I just do the three doubles and then I move to the next section and do three doubles. Now, in the corner, I do two chains. So, anyhow, this is a really pretty square. Very easy to do. I did double crochets, treble crochets together. You can watch this on YouTube. Oh, yes, Rocket Girl. Bella Coca on YouTube is fabulous. I taught myself with her tutorials. Um, let's see, not the last row, the one before. No, I did not do any chaining here, Sparky. No chaining on row 3. I did chains in the corners. We have time. I'll do another corner if you would like, but here's all the squares. We have quite a number of them now. So let's skip ahead, Sparky. I will show you here. We have a center started. So in the very center, I did a magic ring and I did 16 double crochets into that magic ring. Then I came back and I did 2 together treble crochets. I worked those in between the post of each of the stitch. Kim, have a great day. Thanks for being here this morning. I appreciate you. Have an awesome Wednesday, a wonderful Wednesday. Where I ended, I always put in a stitch marker, and that is going to be a corner. Then I go over 4 petals, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I pop in another stitch marker. What we're going to do is we're going to turn this round shape into a square. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pop in another stitch marker. 1, 2, 3, 4. It does look like a poinsettia, right? I might have one of these around Christmas time because I really like it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So these stitch markers now indicate where our corners are going to be. The way that we work the corners, we're envision this is a stitch marker here, the corner. Okay. We're going to do 2 treble crochets, chain 2, 2 treble crochets. This is our tallest stitch. As we work along the side, we're going to get a little shorter. So the first grouping here is 3 doubles. Then we're going to go down to 2 half doubles. That's the very shortest. As we work our way back to the corner, we're going to continue to get taller. 3 doubles, and then in the corner, 2 trebles, chain 2, and then 2 trebles. And we're going to work that on each of the side. Jada in Stitches is really good. She's funny and thorough. I follow her on YouTube as well, Sherry. Um, I like her lives. A lot of times she goes live on YouTube working on stuff, and I really enjoy her channel as well. So thanks for mentioning that. There are so many amazing creators. Okay, I'm going to pop out the stitch marker, and I'm going to keep that kind of in my mind where I'm going to be working. Now I'm going to yarn over twice. I'm going to do a standing treble crochet. Make sure you secure your tail here. If you let this tail go, it will spin off and you'll be back down to 1 loop. Okay, so very important to secure that tail. So holding it, wrap around twice. Now I'm going to go into that space. I twist my hand forward and I transfer the job of holding this tail to Mr. Thumb. I still have 3 loops here on my hook. If this thumb lets go, the yarn will spin off again and I'll be down to 1 loop. Yarn over, pull up a loop. Now we have 4. Yarn over, pull through 2. yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. That is a standing treble. Again, US terms, standing treble. If you don't like to do the standing treble, you most certainly could do a chain of 4 here in place of that. That would be perfectly fine. Now we need another treble, chain 2, and then right back down into that same corner space, we need 2 more treble crochets. Okay, so there are our 2 corners. Do that again. You betcha, Patty. Let's rewind here. Let's frog this out. Ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. Okay, here we go. Slip knot on my hook. Secure the tail between my pointer finger and my thumb. I wrap my yarn around twice, so we have 3 loops. Go down into the space, twist my hand forward. I transfer the job of holding this tail to Mr. Thumb. If he lets go, these stitches will spin off and we'll be down to 1 loop again. So all 3. Yarn over, pull up a loop. Now we have 4 loops. Yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2. And yarn over and pull through 2. That is a standing treble. Okay, and then we need another treble. Did that help? I could do it again. Let me know. I'll probably extract out a little snippet of that and make a video. We can do that as well. And then it'll be on my page. I'll try to remember to do that. So here we go in the corners, 2 treble crochets, chain 2, 2 treble crochets. Now, as we work to the next corner over here, you can see our little green stitch marker. We're going to get shorter as we go along. So the very first space here, we're going to make 3 double crochets. 3 double crochets. So the double crochet is shorter than the trebles. Okay, so tallest in the corner, getting shorter. Now in the very center here, we're going to do 2 half doubles. Again, getting even shorter as we work across. Now we're working back out to the corner. We've got to get back taller as we head back out. Randa said, going to clean the house. Have a good day. See you maybe tomorrow. Randa, have a great day. Thanks for being here today and hanging out. Appreciate you. Okay, so getting taller, 3 doubles. Now pop out your stitch marker. We're back here to the corner. And I'm going to attempt to work over these tails. And again, we need our 2 trebles here in the corner. Chain 2. And then right back down into that corner, 2 more trebles. So effectively what we have done is we have taken the round shape here and we've turned it into a square because we got taller here and then shorter as we went along and then back out tall. Debbie said, time for a nap. See you soon. Debbie, have a great nap. Thanks for hanging out. Okay, into the next space here, we're going to get shorter, and now we need 3 double crochets. Even shorter right here in the center, 2 half doubles. Here's our stitch marker for the next corner. So now we're going to start getting back out taller again. So we're going to revert back to 3 doubles. Hey, Animal, how are you? Welcome in. Pop out our stitch marker for the corner. And in the corner, we need 2 trebles. Again, in between all of these spaces, I'm not chaining anything on the sides. On the corners, I'm chaining 2. Okay, so again, here was a corner, treble crochet, 2 trebles, chain 2, 2 trebles, shorter, 3 doubles, 2 half doubles. Again, no chaining or anything in between here. A lot of people have asked that. 3 doubles, back to the corner, 2 trebles, chain 2, and 2 trebles. Now working along the side again, I don't do any chain. I moved right to the next space here. and I do my 3 doubles. Very center of the square, 2 half doubles. And as we work back out to the corner, getting taller again, 3 doubles. Pop out my stitch marker. And then into the corner, treble crochet. So wrap my yarn around twice, go down into that stitch, grab up a loop. We have 4 loops. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. This is called a treble crochet in US terms. We need another one of those. Patty, we need a Mr. Thumb. I know, that is a good idea, Amy. I talk about Mr. Thumb a lot. Victoria, have a great day at work. Thanks for being here today. I'll show you the half double in 1 second, okay? Here are the corner treble, 2 trebles, chain 2, 2 trebles. Okay, now here we are back. Again, no chaining. We're going to do 3 doubles. Double crochet, we yarn over, we have 2 loops. Go down into this space, yarn over, grab up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. That is your double crochet. Okay, have a great day at work. Half double. Okay, so here's a half double. Yarn over, go down into the space, grab up a loop. So now we have 3 loops. Yarn over, we're going to pull through all 3 loops. That is a half double. So you do this exactly the same as you do a double, except you don't do the extra loop. So grab up a loop. We have 3 now. Yarn over, I'm going to pull through all 3 of those loops. Does that help? Now here we are back to the double. We're going to skip over to the next space, double crochet. Here's our 3, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. So that is the only difference between the half double and the double. Does that help? And joining here to the corner again, slip stitch all the way to the corner. And then I'm going to snip off this yarn and that one will be done. Patty said, got it. Thank you. So here's where we're at with our square. We've effectively turned a circle into a square. The next step is to come back with the white yarn and do our granny stitches. Okay, so that is basically how we do it. Let's do one more with the corner marking since that is kind of one of the harder parts of this square. And I have these already made up. So again, if you missed how to make the very center, you can rewatch this over on my YouTube. Okay. We are live both on YouTube and TikTok this morning. I started the very center with a magic ring and we did 16 double crochets. Then we came back and we did 2 together treble crochets and we worked those in the space between each of the stitches. So instead of working in the top of the stitch like you would right here, we worked those in between the post. Now what I'm going to do is we take this circle and we turn this into a square. So stitch markers are your friend for this if you are new to making these squares. So where the tail is, I put in my first stitch marker. That's where we snipped off. Okay, then we're going to skip over 1, 2, 3, 4 petals and into the space, place another stitch marker. This represents a corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, place a stitch marker. Another corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, and place another stitch marker. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you mathed it right and you have the correct amount of stitches, you'll end up with 4 corners. Okay. So these stitch markers help us to envision where our corners are going to be as we work this square. Oh, that's a good idea, Joan, to use these for the spring community blanket. Let's measure these. They might be a little big. I'm not sure. I haven't really measured them. But let's see. Oh, they're 5 inches right on the dot. You most certainly could. Maggie likes her squares to be 5 inches. So you definitely could use this for her squares for the community blanket. Okay, I'm going to start with a slip knot on my hook. And I'm going to work into one of these corners. So pop out your stitch marker, and I'm going to start with a standing treble. I wrap my yarn around twice. Now I secure my tail. I hold it here between my pointer finger and my thumb. If you do not secure this tail, what happens when you pull on it, the loops will slide off. Okay, so that part is extremely important to secure that tail. I go down one, two, three, four, into the space. I twist my hand forward. I transfer the job of holding the tail here to Mr. Thumb. And if he lets go, these loops again will slide off. Yarn over, pull up a loop. Now we have 4, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. So this is a standing treble. If you do not like to do the standing treble, you certainly could do a chain of 4 here as well. We need another double, or excuse me, another treble, chain 2, and then right back down into that corner space, 2 more treble crochets. Okay, treble, 2 trebles, chain 2, 2 trebles. Now we're going to work along the side here towards the corner as we work to the next side. We're going to get shorter with our stitches. So right here into the first space, I don't do any chains. I'm going to do 3 double crochets. Move to the next space. Again, no chaining. We're going to do 2 half doubles. Half doubles are shorter than doubles. And again, here is our corner. So now we're going to start working back out to the corner. We're going to get back taller. So now into the next space, no chaining, 3 doubles. Pam, thank you so much for the heart me and becoming the 119th member of the fan club. And into the corner here, pop out your stitch marker. We're going to do 2 trebles again. Here's number 2, chain 2. Now right back down into that space again, we need 2 more trebles. Okay, so once again, effectively, we have taken this round shape and turned it into a square. So the tallest stitches in the corners get shorter all the way into the center and get taller back out. Now we're going to repeat this along the side of the next side. This is the next corner we're shooting for. So here into the next space, 3 doubles. In the very center space here, 2 half doubles. Moving back out towards the corner, getting taller, 3 doubles. Just like magic, here we are to the corner again. Pop out our stitch marker. And now we need 2 trebles. Here's number 2. Chain 2. 2 more trebles. 9:30. I got to go to work, friends. Working along the side, getting shorter. 3 doubles. Short still here in the middle. 2 half doubles. I'm using a size I9 hook, Joan. This is a 4 medium weight worsted acrylic. The colorway I'm using right now is City Beat by Hobby Lobby. It's a variegated yarn. Here we are to the corner again, 2 trebles, chain 2, and 2 more trebles. Working along the side, getting shorter, 3 doubles. Shortest still here in the middle, 2 half doubles. Working back out to the corner, get a little taller, 3 doubles. Gen X girl, have a great day. Thanks for being here today. I hope your walk was nice. It's got to be hotter than the blazes there in Arizona, I would imagine. Again, slip stitch to the corner, and we're going to snip off. Snippety snip, snip, snip. Hey, Dana, how are you? Flatten out our little square here. And that is what we're looking like. So the last thing I'll do is I'll come back along and add white and make these bigger. I need a total of 20 of these squares. Then I'm going to turn it into a blanket. So this is what the squares look like. 140,000 likes today. Y'all are amazing. Thank you all so much for all of the screen taps. Another shout out to our moderators who are absolutely fabulous. Thank you so much for all of the support today. I hope you guys all have a wonderful Wednesday. Thanks to all the new subscribers and all of our new followers. Welcome in. Appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you guys all have a fabulous day. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. We'll probably be doing a baby blanket again tomorrow. Probably a baby blanket. Bye for now. Have a great day, y'all.